This is Gabby Ray Talker. This video is a continuation of Part 1 that is labeled, Whitney Houston, Bobbi Kristina Why Did They Drown? If you did not see Part 1 of this video, I suggest that you watch it first, in order for you to understand this video continuation. I have posted a link to Part 1 in the description section. So if you did not see Part 1, I strongly suggest that you watch that one first. Then, come back to this video. But, if you have already watched Part 1 then, you will fully understand this video, as I will report. So here we go. On January 31, 2015, Bobbi Kristina Brown was found unconscious in her home. As reports state, there were at least 4 people linked to the scene at the time that Bobbi Kristina was found unconscious. These players consist of Nick Gordon, Bobbi Kristina's boyfriend, her friend, Max Laumers, who has an extensive reputation as a drug supplier, as alleged, her friend, Daniela Bradley, and another friend, Dwayne Tyrone Hall. According to Max Laumers' attorney, it was reported to the media such as E! News, that there was a cable guy that came to the house when Bobbi Kristina was found. But still, this cable guy story never checked out. No cable guy name or evidence has not surfaced to show a cable guy was present at the scene that morning, so this eliminates that story as alleged about there being a cable man present. So this leaves 4 people to why Bobbi Kristina was found unconscious. But let's not rule out Bobbi Kristina herself. To be honest, from what I have found and believe, in this case, there is only one person that knows what actually happened to Bobbi Kristina. And here's why I say this: it was indirectly revealed in past news by one person, and that one person knows exactly what led to Bobbi Kristina's death. So, first I will explain how each of these people were linked to Bobbi Kristina on the morning of her tragedy according to media reports. I will eliminate the suspects one by one, to the one person that stated to know what happened to Bobbi Kristina. So let's start with Dwayne Tyrone Hall. This photo appeared on Bobbi Kristina's Instagram in the early AM hours before the time when she was found unconscious. According to Radar Online, Bobbi Kristina's neighbor revealed that someone that resembled the man in this Instagram photo visited Bobbi Kristina on the night before her tragedy. After Nick Gordon had left the house with Max Laumers for a night out at a club, the neighbor reported that Bobbi Kristina seemed to have chosen to be with another man while Nick was out that night. It was reported that Nick came home and argued with Bobbi Kristina about the visitor, Dwayne Tyrone Hall, who was said to have ran out of the house. So then, there were 3. From there, it was reported that Nick Gordon and Bobbi Kristina argued approximately 6 a.m. that morning for at least a half hour. According to the lawsuit against Nick Gordon, filed by Bobbi Kristina's estate conservator, it accuses Gordon of torturous conduct, bodily harm and wrongful death of the late Whitney Houston's only daughter. On the morning of January 31, 2015, the lawsuit alleges that Gordon recorded Bobbi Kristina and reviewed the footage. Then, argued with her loudly from the kitchen to the living room and upstairs to the master bedroom. The lawsuit alleges that Gordon was screaming at Bobbi Kristina and accusing her of cheating, calling her a whore, among other derogatory names. According to the lawsuit, the witnesses in the house reported that it abruptly became quiet in the master bedroom where the couple was. The lawsuit alleges that Gordon injected Bobbi Kristina with a fatal mixture of drugs rendering her unconscious, then put her face down in a bathtub of water leaving her to die. The lawsuit alleges that Gordon then came out of the master bedroom, wearing a different set of clothes than what he was wearing before going into the room. He proceeded to another room. The lawsuit then alleges that Gordon got in bed, where the female guest was, and stated, "Now I want a pretty little white girl like you," and then laid his head on her ankle. Then, the lawsuit alleges that 15 minutes later, the other house guest went to check on Bobbi Kristina, who was found face down in her bathtub. The lawsuit states that she was unresponsive, unconscious, her mouth swollen, and another one of her front teeth was hanging loosely from her mouth. To explain why I said another tooth was knocked out of her mouth, is because witnesses revealed that Bobbi Kristina already suffered a tooth being knocked out by Gordon on a previous date. According to the lawsuit, a few days before January 31st, the house guest witnessed Bobbi Kristina get punched in the face so hard that the couch that she sat in broke and she fell to the floor. Then Gordon continued to hit her in the face until she was bloody and then kicked her until she was in a fetal position. He then told her to go upstairs. She began to crawl. Then Gordon dragged her by the hair, pulling her up the stairs, smearing blood on the walls and the staircase, and then he threw her into the master bedroom. During that incident, a tooth was knocked out. Then, on the tragedy of January 31st, another tooth was knocked out. Here are media takeout photos of the knocked out teeth. After the house guest pulled her out of the tub, Bradley started CPR on Bobbi Kristina while lawmakers called 911. The lawsuit alleges that Gordon then entered the room and first let the water out of the tub. Then later shouted, "Clean up, clean up." The house guest still was performing CPR. Gordon came over and began to slap Bobbi Kristina, saying "wake up," and, allegedly, started doing CPR too. Shortly after, the ambulance arrived and revived her. She was taken to the hospital. Then nearly 6 months later, after being in medical care, she died. So now the question remains, was there foul play involved, or was it a self-induced accidental drug overdose? But, if not, from what I see, I question the 3 house guests that remained that morning of January 31st. Media reports that Gordon claims that he did argue with Bobbi Kristina but did not kill her, and on Dr. Phil show of March 11, 2015, Nick Gordon's mum stated that her son walked away from the argument. Then the house guest found Bobbi Kristina face down in a tub filled with water. But, if you really look at this picture, these 2 house guests were the ones that found Bobbi Kristina drowning in a tub. I would think that scene right there is highly suspicious, even though the house guest has been said to have been part of the rescue of Bobbi Kristina. For a long while I was highly suspicious of them, until I came across this TMZ article. It states that 3 weeks after Bobbi Kristina was rushed to the hospital, a member of Bobby Brown's family recorded Nick over the phone. The call was recorded without Nick's knowledge, but it was legally recorded because Georgia is a one-party state. Then in the phone conversation, Nick was heard giving reason to why Bobbi Kristina fell into her condition. He stated that they were all drinking and doing drugs but she did too much. Then he stated that he will officially stay from bathtubs. Now, statements like this just shows that Gordon knows that it was drugs that caused her condition. Even though she was drowned in the bathtub with house guest who found her. So how come this one person, Nick Gordon, is claiming to know exactly what caused Bobbi Kristina's tragedy? So this means Gordon claims to have known the cause of Bobbi Kristina's tragedy even before any autopsy or any toxicology testing was even conducted. He denies having any part in her death, but yet he knows drugs caused her tragedy. And then he tries to plant the seed saying that stress and drugs caused her bathroom scene. Gordon does not even mention any of the house guest. Even I suggested that the house guest may have played a part in Bobbi Kristina's drowning. According to this article, Gordon seems to know that it was drugs that did her in, and for this reason I have reason to believe that Gordon played a part in Bobbi Kristina's drowning. From what I gather, Gordon most likely suspected that Bobbi Kristina was moving on to another relationship with another man, and this infuriated him into a jealous rage that he argued with Bobbi Kristina and drugged her with a toxic overdose. Then covered it up by staging a fake suicide, placing her unconscious face down in the tub. Some would ask, how do you know if Bobbi Kristina committed suicide or not? From what I see in this story, there is a cause with an immediate effect. This situation tells a story of a jealous man reaction, of seeing his longtime girlfriend with another man, and others would ask, How do you know that it was not the house guest that put Bobbi Kristina in her bathtub, face down? Then, I would answer that by saying this: when Bobbi Kristina tragedy occurred, Daniela Bradley's mum told the National Enquirer that Bobbi Kristina was found in her tub, unconscious, and Gordon was the last to see her alive. Plus, she gave unique small details that indicated that her words were authentic. Bradley's mum stated that Bobbi Kristina had not been in the tub long, but when she was found, the water was cold, and she stated that no woman would take a cold bath, nor take a bath with a dustpan in it which was in the water. According to the lawsuit, Gordon's first priority was cleaning up, before even helping Bobbi Kristina, and this raises a major red flag in his claims, to not being responsible in his girlfriend's death, which seems to point to Gordon even more. So, the question remains, why did Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina drown? Both deaths were similar, with drug use and drowning, face down in the bathtub, with someone that cleaned up afterwards, and this indicates that they were drowned deliberately. And why? From what I gather, someone was angry, jealous, and in a rage. Clear signs of a person that feared abandonment, and a person that both Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina knew. And from the words of this person that was abandoned as a teenager, and showed clear signs of abusive, jealous behavior.
I will officially stay from bathtubs forever, I'll tell you that.
This concludes Part 2 of Mystery Solved: Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina. Why did they drown? This is Gabby Ray Talker. Come follow me on my social networks, and come join me at www.isoclassifieds.com. Thanks for watching.